Y'all got it. What about this one? You can guess it first.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick. Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. I sit back with my friend with me.
All right, that's good. See.
Yeah, it's a little bit after 2, so we want to go ahead and get started, guys. Want to go ahead and get started? All right, sounds good. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session. Welcome, CCCC family. We're so excited that you joined us this afternoon. Today's session is going to be music, memes, and humor, engaging students through success coaching. We're so happy you joined us again. Today we picked a happy topic, and because positivity in this challenging time is so needed to connect with students, and not only students but colleagues, right? In our chat box, we're going to have our fellow success or our other success coach, Trey, helping us out. So throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in there. He's going to be looking at it as we go. So moving to the next slide. Due to an influx in technology, social media, amplification, decreased communication connection, socio-cultural division, racial conflict, and political polarization, mental health concerns, and basic needs insecurities. Not to mention, we are living through a pandemic. This session is all about connections, using some strategies to connect with students at all ages and stages of their lives. First, we're going to get started to get to know a little bit about our Success Coach team, in case some of you haven't gotten to meet us or you're new to the college. I'm going to start. So my name is Jennifer Babb, and I am a Success Coach for a variety of programs offered at CC, from early childhood education to our university transfer programs. I've had the privilege of serving students in various capacities for the last 7 years. Serving as an advocate for students and helping them move towards their academic goals is by far my favorite part of being a success coach. Trey, do you have a minute?
Yes, I'm right here. So my name is Trayvon Campbell. I'm one of the new success coaches here at Central Carolina. I started in January. I'm very big on student success. I have a lot of experience working in the higher education field, and so being a part of CC and being a part of this team has definitely been such a delight, because this team is very driven and eager and determined when it comes to making sure students reach their goals. And I'm definitely glad to be a part of that. And that's something that I bring as well. So like during this, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And we definitely look forward to informing you and definitely showing you what it's like in our world when it comes to being a success coach.
Thanks, Trey. Hey, everyone. My name is Alex Kappas. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm the success coach specifically for health sciences and human services, primarily. I also am a part-time student in the higher adult and lifelong education program at Michigan State. I joined CC this past August, so all I know is the screen and engaging virtually. And, you know, this topic is really important to me because despite this being a really challenging, kind of strange reality to transition into a job, I have felt a sense of belonging at the college, and I've been able to really make some great connections with students, faculty, and staff. So I'm really appreciative of that opportunity, and I will pass the torch over to our director, Candace Solis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Candace Solis. I'm the Director of Student Success. I have the distinct privilege and honor of serving with this team and leading this Success Coach team here at Central Carolina. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I directly serve students under the Minority Male Success Initiative, the Step Up Scholars, and those students that are studying under the Criminal Justice Technology and Paralegal Curriculum-based programs here at CCCC. As an instructor and coach, I understand the importance of engaging students, and I'm excited to share with you all about that today.
So we're going to dive right into our agenda. This is what we have in store for you today. We're going to talk about, we'll introduce you to Central Carolina and our success coaching model. Then we're going to share some creative ways to make those genuine connections. We will open the space so others can share ways they build the connections, and we will review opportunities to leverage digital tools. And then, of course, we'll have some time for questions and answers if we have time. So, but first we're going to jump into an interactive activity with Candace. So Candace, take it away.
Thank you, thank you. So as success coaches, we always try to bring a little bit of fun to the party, so to speak. So we are going to do that today. Keeping that in mind and the fun topics that we have planned for you pertaining to creative student engagement, we are excited to do the Put a Finger Down TikTok challenge with you today, but we're going to do it community college style pandemic edition. So if you have not heard of TikTok, this is a social media platform that often facilitates challenges for friends and family. This particular challenge can be a lot of fun. So let's do this. We want to remove the presenter mode at this time. Awesome. At this time, can each of today's participants hold up 10 fingers? So if you can, turn your camera on. It's fun to kind of see everyone do this if possible. All right, everybody's got 10 fingers up. Awesome. Okay, I will say put a finger down if the statement is true for you, put your finger down. Let's see how you do. First one, put a finger down if you have watched Tiger King on Netflix during the pandemic. Put a finger down if you own more than 5 masks. Put a finger down if you've experienced higher levels of stress while staying and working from home. Put a finger down if music and internet humor helps you during tough days on the job. Put a finger down if you have never done a TikTok challenge until today. Put a finger down if you watch Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime at least 1 hour a day. Put a finger down if you are simply virtualed out. Put a finger down if you can name this tune. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. Awesome. That's Happy by Pharrell for those that don't know. Put a finger down if you have stayed up at night worrying about your child's education or your students? Put a finger down if you thought you would love working from home, but are totally ready to return to campus. Okay, awesome. How many, if you can, go ahead and type in the chat box how many fingers you put down. Let's see how we all kind of did. I love it. Wow, look, you got a lot of 9s, 10s, 8s. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to really see how much we all have in common when it comes down to it. We've got various professional backgrounds, different roles that we all hold at CCCC. We have different cultures and religions. But look how similar our experience has been during this pandemic. And so we connect through commonalities in pop culture, lifestyle, music, food, and preferences. This presentation today is all about that, using fun and exciting ways to connect and engage with our students. Using music, humor, and memes is just one pathway to student engagement, and we are excited to share our ideas with you today. But first, we want to share a little bit with you about success coaching, what we do here at CCCC, and then we'll jump into the good stuff while you guys are here with us today. So success coaching is all about unlocking our students' potential and providing the necessary tools to excel in the academic setting and beyond. That is why this quote is perfect. Coaching is about unlocking potential in order to maximize potential. It's about bringing out the best in people. We aim to do just that as success coaches. Through the use of intrusive advising, appreciative advising, and providing an individualized coaching experience, we are able to provide student support at the highest level for our students here at CCCC. So how do we do it? Our work is guided by 5 core pillars of success coaching. Success coaches engage, connect, educate, motivate, and empower. Engage, our coaches engage with a set of caseload of students, support the first year experience, help students get acclimated to college life, align expectations, and provide continuous engagement throughout their academic career. They connect. Success coaches generate a genuine connection with the students on their caseload. They help them get connected to both campus and community resources and to the academic tools needed for their success. Coaches also connect students to transfer options and expose them to various higher education opportunities. They educate. Coaches educate students by providing skill building and academic success workshops to foster student development and growth. They motivate. Our coaches also send encouraging messages, create motivational videos, and make a point to cheer on academic and personal life achievements. Lastly, they empower. They empower students by providing career exploration tips and opportunities, support goal setting, and challenge them in dream exploration. Simply put, the coaches here at CCCC are dedicated to providing student support and the fostering of all overall student success for all of our students. So every now and then, we have to get creative in order to be most successful in connecting with our students. Each student is different, so the tools that we use vary from case to case. We want to share some of that with you today. We want to share how we disarm our students, build rapport, and connect creatively in order to foster success. All right, so 6 ways to use music to connect. So are your students losing steam? Are they experiencing virtual learning fatigue? Sometimes students need extra motivation and encouragement just to remain focused on the goals at hand. Having fun through music is one unique way you can accomplish this goal because music is a universal language. So the first way that you can use music is by creating a motivational playlist for fun. Create playlists to motivate and inspire your students. There are different occasions in which a motivational playlist may be most beneficial. During the week, students are preparing for final exams. A motivational playlist may make them smile and keep going. When early grade alerts come out, students may benefit from a motivational song to boost them and make them feel empowered and that they have the ability to make improvements and do well in their course. These are just two of many great reasons to create a motivational playlist. Let's try it out together. Please type in the chat box your favorite motivational song. Let's see if we have some in common. While you guys think of some motivational songs, I'll play one. That I like. You know that one? That's High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. I like that. The My Shot and Don't Worry, Be Happy, that's always a good one. So you can do this activity with your students or even your coworkers as well, and then create the playlist and then share it with the entire group. And you could even intrigue them with, if you send me your favorite song, I will send you one. I'll send you my personal playlist. And usually people like that. They like to see what you're listening to when you're at home trying to encourage yourself. So that's one way. Another way you can use music is to use music for student reminders. This is a creative and fun way to remind students to complete an assignment or task by a specific deadline. The deadlines could be for large projects, discussion boards, scholarships, and even graduation applications. Let's brainstorm together. Please type in the chat box a song that you think could be used to remind students to submit an assignment or to remind them of a pending deadline. So I see Nick wrote Eye of the Tiger, and that's actually a great song to use for reminders. Jeopardy, I like that. So yeah, I'm loving the selections. Jeopardy theme song, Under Pressure, those are really good. I'm gonna have to use those. And so I actually used this song this past week to remind some of my students about their graduation application. So you can use music in that way as well. All right, so the third one, use students' music preferences to connect to your subject matter. So for example, math is a subject that many of our students seem to struggle with and have to overcome mental barriers to their success. So in order to help them change their mindset, we may have to find an outside of the box way to elicit a mental change. So music can be a unique tool to use, as music can elicit emotions just by the click of the word play. You could use a song that could remind them of who they are and remind them to keep trying. A great example of this song is by, it's called The Man by Aloe Blacc, and I'll play a quick snippet of that one. So I don't know if you guys have heard that one, but that's a good one that can be encouraging for students. Number 4, reach the unreachable student and just break the ice. As mentioned previously, success coaches utilize the appreciative advising model. Getting to know your students and creating connections is critical to the first steps in the disarm phase. So on occasion, music can just help break the ice and foster some initial conversation. You could just ask your student, what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite songs? That will just get them talking. I know I had a student that was fresh out of high school and starting, and I think they thought I was probably way older than I was and just wasn't really opening up. And I asked that question. They started talking about Bad Bunny and just knew I wouldn't know who that artist was. But as soon as I was able to connect with that student and say, hey, I know all about that particular artist, it's like the light came on. So you can use it just to kind of break that ice and get the conversation going. Number 5, bridge the generation gap. So music also connects us through the generations. Music can give you a feeling of nostalgia and foster connection despite changes in age, background, and ethnicities. So if I played Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, many of the 70s teens may immediately smile. If I played this song, some of the 80s teens may start to dance. Let's see if that's true. There you go. All right, so where my 80s at? Anybody dance? So you may immediately connect to that if you were an 80s kid. So if you were a preteen in the 90s and I started to play the Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, you might bust into tell me why, right? So music really does connect us by generations, and you should use that to your benefit when it comes to connecting with your students. I'll give a quick example of this. I had a student this semester who's just a little bit older than me, and I think probably assumed that I couldn't connect with them, and I referenced an LL Cool J song, and that was the immediate spark that got them to open up. And so you can use that to connect with someone that may be of a different generation, and allows them to just kind of let their hair down and kind of relate to you in a specific or unspecific kind of way. And the last one is have a dance break. Play some good, clean music at the end of the last class of the semester or a workshop. As an exit, play a song and encourage a quick dance break together. It can be a great tension and stress reliever. Have fun with it. Ultimately, there are some classes, events, meetings this activity would not work for, but there are others that it just may be appropriate. Sometimes it can be a little trick that you can pull out of your toolkit to help you get connected with others. I encourage you to explore the possibilities. So another awesome tool to use when connecting to students is to use TV clips, movie clips, video messages to help inspire, motivate, grow their mindset, and to help reduce stress. For this portion, we will discuss some of the various options you can use and expose you to the different ways they can be utilized. As success coaches, we work with students on a daily basis in developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset encourages students to embrace challenges, persevere in the face of failures, and to focus on the process, not the outcome. This may be harder to do with some students than it is to do with others. Don't be afraid to inspire changes in thinking through the use of videos. We wanted to share with you a relatable clip in this area. So this is a clip from an episode from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's a midlife crisis episode where Aunt Vivian was turning 40 and she was feeling a little down about how she had not necessarily accomplished one of her lifelong dreams of being a dancer, and she decided to go for her dream. And she started out, and it was very hard for her to accomplish what she wanted to do. But by the end of the episode, she was able to be successful, and she turned it out, and she rose to the occasion. And so you could use this kind of clip for students. You could tell your students, this has been a challenging course or task or assignment, but I know that you have what it takes to get through this and to succeed. So please watch this clip. Now I want you to turn it out like Aunt Viv. You got this. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
You, and you.
Someone down? Everybody else? All right, ready? Here you go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. All right, very good. Okay.
All right, so during this pandemic, our students have needed more opportunities to relax, relate, and release. Do you remember this episode of A Different World? This is one of my favorite episodes as well. It is where Whitley learns a stress coping technique, and she learns to relax and relate and release. For stress relief, laughter can often be the best medicine to help our students refocus on the things that matter and let go of the things that don't. So let's play the clip.
Relax, release, relax, relax, release, relax, relax, relax.
Do you remember this video clip from The Incredibles? I imagine many of us working moms feel like our households are like this right about now. With all of our virtual learning and stir-crazy kids, we have a lot on our plate. Statistically, more than 3 out of 5 parents enrolled at a community college leave without a credential. Can you imagine sending this to a student and relating to them by acknowledging you too understand the weight and challenges that they are facing? It is an easy way to connect through commonalities. You could say along with the clip, remember you too are incredible. It's cheesy, but effective. Let's play the clip.
So, how about you, Vi? How was school? You've hardly touched your food. I'm not really hungry for meatloaf. Well, it is leftover night. We have steak, pasta. What are you hungry for? Tony Ridinger. Shut up. Well, you are. I said, shut up, little insect. Oh, she is. Do not shout at the table. Honey?
Kids, listen to your mother.
She'd eat if we were having Tony loaf. That's it! Stop it! We're gonna be tough! Stop coming in the house! Hey, go Forcefield! You started it. You sit down! You sit down!
Try clips like these to generate some connections surrounding the stress and struggles of student life. So motivational messages. Some students relate to celebrities and or people that remind them of themselves. The relationships you create can guide the context for the clips you choose and for whom you choose them. A motivational message may be what does the trick. What I have found is that athletes can often appreciate clips, quotes, and messages from other athletes, and so on and so on. Sometimes a simple 1-minute motivational pep talk will do the trick. Here is a great example of one. Let's play the clip.
As we begin to look at what we want, as we begin to look toward the future, what's going to be crucial for you is every time you find yourself saying that you can't do something, you've got to affirm to yourself, hey, no, I can make it. This can happen for me. You've got powers within you, talents within you that you haven't even reached for yet. Now, whatever goal you have, here's what we know. You're going to have some opposition. You're going to have some difficulties. You're going to have some challenges. Long journey, long dark night. But when you hold on to your dream, don't let anybody kill it in you. Just hold on to that dream. When it doesn't make sense to anybody, including you sometimes, just hold on. Once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
Don't be afraid to use videos as another way to creatively connect with your students. Have fun exploring all of the possibilities.
All right, thank you, Candace. I have the pleasure of moving into the memes and humor component of our session today. Our conversations are serious because students are going through serious challenges. Not all, but many. I don't know if any of you attended the Adverse Child experiences session earlier, but our students definitely have and continue to manage very serious things. But that doesn't mean that we can't make students smile and that we shouldn't really try to infuse some humor, infuse some lightheartedness, and really helping students in that manner to disarm them, not for the sake of trying to be cool or trying to fit in or trying to be, the cool dad or the cool teacher or the cool advisor. It's about connection, and that disarmament is so, so important. Now, when I was assigned this part of the presentation, I said, I got to put a disclaimer out here because we've all seen some foolishness, right? When it comes to humor, when it comes to comedy. So we have to be really, really thoughtful about what we choose to share, both in our own humor, but also in sharing memes and sharing different things that can be taken out of context. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. We have to be thoughtful about the time, the place, the manner in which we share, and we infuse humor into what we do. We can use that meme or humor, but really think about how could this be interpreted or how could this be misinterpreted, specifically when we think about perpetuating harmful stereotypes around social identity. We definitely don't want to marginalize students based on our humor. Again, the goal isn't to be cool, but the goal is to bring a smile. And so my kind of slogan or the way that a lot of students describe me is that I'm a dad. You've got dad jokes. And so, Candace earlier mentioned like being cheesy. Bring on the cheese, because students will crack that smile, they will laugh. If your humor is outdated, even funnier, right? They're gonna be laughing at you, and that's awesome. Laugh at me all day. If you can think of ways to connect with students based on things that you've seen and things, that's why it's kind of important to stay up a little bit with, what's hip and what's cool and what people are watching. An example of this, there was a student I asked, what was the last thing you watched on Netflix? And they said, Always Be My Maybe. And I said, oh my gosh, my wife plays that movie on repeat. And so I just infused this into the conversation. I said, what's your secret? How do you stay so young? I wash my face with shampoo. So if the student knows that movie and I know that reference, then we can connect. We can laugh over that scene in the film. And so, that's just one example. Now, the other thing here is with how quickly our popular culture evolves, being very careful to not use celebrities who are maybe were cool 5 years ago, but now are under the spotlight for a scandal. Unfortunately, this happens all the time. And so we want to make sure, again, doing the best to also be a good steward and good representative of the college. All right, memes. I love me a good meme. And you can't go wrong with Pixar. I think that, here's one example here of, kind of making the memes or finding memes. There's a million out there that are school related, right? About assignments or about, us as success coaches, or I see there's some Trio folks. we're all in the business of student success, and so I think memes are a great way to bring out some of that laughter. I really like animal memes because you can't really mess that up in terms of like using a reference that's not appropriate. It's a cute animal. This cat is screaming, shocked that we have homework. So those tend to bring a lot of smiles, which is a great thing. I also really, this is kind of an emerging trend, but the use of, like, if you've got a space or gathering of students, especially online, where you can infuse these kind of mixed meme medias, where you have, how are you feeling this morning, or the morning of your reading your email inbox on a Monday morning, and having people type in the chat, which cat are you? So this is a good one. I'm perpetually cat number 8. So just pick your cat and stick to it. So now, GIFs or GIFs, I don't know. I really don't know which way it is said. Students correct me every time, so I just go with it. But GIFs or GIFs are just animated memes, right? And so this is also a great way to infuse into presentations. It's really easy to add them to a presentation, and easy to share them as well. Sharing the link, the direct link to that particular GIF or GIF. I love this one, of Ellen DeGeneres talking about procrastination, putting a little joke out there, and then this other one is a really famous like meme that also is a GIF or a GIF. So those, I really like those. Candace talked about finding videos that are humorous. There's obviously videos out there all over YouTube and other places that you could also infuse. And by the way, we're sending you all, or at the end of the session, we're going to give you a link dump of different things, resources. And if there's anything from this presentation that you want to see, please let us know. But this is a short clip. I won't play it. And it's really like dry humor and ironic. I remember I played it for Candace and Jennifer, and they were like, nah, that's too dry. But hopefully y'all will check that one out. I think it's a funny one about procrastination and all the ways we continue to procrastinate. And then this one, Kevin Hart, always makes me smile. And so this is a short clip. I will play this one, and hopefully it's from the movie Night School. So Kevin Hart is going back to school, and he's taking these classes, and he is talking with the instructor outside of the class. So here you have Kevin Hart.
Hey, Jerry. Hey. That was real cool what you did for me in there at the blackboard. That's what I was talking about when I just said watching out for each other. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Oh, there's not going to be any more back scratching, Teddy. That's the last time that happens. And what was really going on with you at the board anyways?
Nothing. Nothing. No, I wasn't prepared.
If you're not going to do the work, drop the class.
Why would you? No, Gary. Hey, I'm going to do the work. You'll see.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Great.
Superb.
Excellent.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's a good one. Again, the key is it's hard to find clips that, especially with Kevin Hart, he's a character, without, him swearing and stuff. And so you've got to be careful about that. But definitely some good ones out there, and, ways that you can help students just kind of lighten the mood. Or if you know that they love Kevin Hart, you can kind of throw in there, and all right, into your conversation. So some of those buzzword lines that he has. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Jennifer to continue our show here today.
All right, guys. So positive affirmations for success is so important. And when done consistently and properly, they can promote courage and positivity towards achieving academic goals. One way we do this, promote positive affirmations, is through Monday Motivationals, or Motivational Monday. These are words of encouragement sent out weekly to students as a reminder to keep pushing towards those academic goals. It is creating a mindset that through consistent encouragement, anything is possible. As stated, consistency is key. Students look for these emails weekly, and for others, it may be the motivation that they need to keep pushing forward. No matter the need, it is a great way to make connections with your students through positive reinforcement. The next slide is just another really great example of motivational messages to send to students. And feel free to try this with engaging with students, but also with your colleagues. I joke with my students a lot of times. Sometimes these are more for me than they are for you guys. So feel free to use them, you know, within your departments. Another way that we use some motivation and encouragement is What's Good Wednesday. So let's turn it to you again. In the chat box, using an emoji, tell me how your day is going. Just a quick emoji to let me know how this Friday is going for you guys. Perfect. I love it. So how quickly one symbol can open up a conversation. Engaging students can be a hard task, but it doesn't have to be an impossible one. So this is a great tool for students to open up.
Jennifer, you still there? Okay, so I'm seeing Candace's face move, which means it must be Jennifer's. I was like, is it my computer? So it looks like Jennifer is reconnecting. So I'm going to stall for a second. And if you haven't put an emoji in the chat, go ahead and drop one in there. I really liked Nick's. J Babs, you back?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. This virtual world is always fun. Anyhow, so thank you for sharing those emojis. The next thing that we like to do is use digital postcards. And again, this can be something that you do within your departments or students, but just sending out a happy birthday or proud of you, just an inspirational message. That shows that you value that student. It's not as simple as quickly typing a message and sending it without much thought, but rather it shows that you spent a degree of time and energy to design, construct, and send. Sending a simple happy birthday or I'm proud of you when they've successfully completed a course, or you got this before an exam. That's one of my favorite. Whatever your mission is, it's a genuine wish for, you know, the person you're sending it to, in our case, a student. So that's a great tool to use. Today, obviously, more than ever, colleges are exploring digital tools for key campus processes. Effective communication is key in building long-lasting relationships. So we take advantage as success coaches from every platform that can be most effective. So let's go over just a few that CCCC uses on a daily basis and our team uses on a daily basis. So first, we're going to talk YouTube. We create welcome videos or a little message to say we are here for you, and these speak volumes with students. It's also a great way to share pertinent information regarding what is happening at the college. The next we use, is all of you probably are aware of, is the Bezo Aviso, we like to think, is a personalized and proactive student support platform in which we can communicate with students. This system tells us firsthand analytics on how to direct our conversations, from early alerts to academic concerns. We can also send emails, but also assign tasks for our students to work on internally. It is just a great one-stop shop for staff and faculty to work together for student success as a whole. The next is Hello Facebook. Everybody knows about Facebook. So working with, your student's activity coordinator, we actively promote what's happening in the college and with our success team. One example is this is our virtual success lounge, which is a space that students can meet virtually on Tuesdays to chat about what's going on in their semester, or we have tutorial sessions on test taking strategies and different other resources we like to share with them. And this is just a great place to advertise these type of events. Of course, you have good old email. Email is always a preferred type of communication and digital tool. Not to get lost in the stream of other emails, we really try to be strategic in the subject line to draw attention to our students and whatever email we're sending. So some examples is, can I help, needing assistance, just something to draw them to that email. No matter what the communication is, we are always sure to respond in a timely manner to best support our students and the staff and faculty here at the college. The next is good old text messaging. We obviously live in a world full of virtual options. So there's a ton of ways that we can communicate with students. I've already addressed just a few, but how many offer instant connection? I was looking up some statistics, and did you know that people on average look at their phone up to 150 times a day, at least glance at it? I mean, think about that. There's a much higher rate of response time when using text messages, and this is just a great tool to use for one-line questions, and we can do these text messaging through Aviso as well. And quick questions is, how are your courses going? Have you registered for whatever the next semester is? Needing assistance? These are all quick one-liners to try to make that connection and communication with students. The last is the schedule WhatsApp messages. This tool is a great way to keep in touch with a group of students. You can use it in group chats or share messages or share photos and videos. When you're busy or going to be out of the office, you can set away messages that automatically send messages to our students. You can also schedule an away message to turn on automatically during your normal working hours. It's just a great customizable tool and app to keep your students connected at all times. So turning to you again, and in the chat box, out of all these platforms, what is your favorite way to engage with your students? Or in your case, if you don't engage with students on a regular basis, what's your favorite way of engaging with your colleagues, especially in this virtual space? So I'll look at those as I'm going to keep on for time's sake, but take a minute, drop that in the chat box of what's your favorite way of making that communication. So no matter what we're doing, continuous engagement is key. So we have some different programming ideas that we like to use on a daily basis, and maybe it's something that you could use as well. As success coaches, we offer 15-minute coaching sessions. And this is just to connect and recap from our last session meetings. But by offering these 15-minute meetings, it seems to lower the barrier for students and their time to commit, because obviously they have a lot going on. So it lowers that barrier and helps us get them in the door to talking with us. But this helps both you and your students recognize their progress and success since the last session. Setting a week to engage as far as email, text. A good example is what we already spoke about, Motivational Mondays. Tell me something good Tuesdays. What's good Wednesdays? Like I said, setting that day and being continuous with your outreach. Our ongoing programming is just offering that ongoing support through the Virtual Success Lounge. Again, we spoke about that. This is a space that students can connect with us every Tuesday. Admittedly, we haven't had a lot of success with it at this point and participation. So we've started recorded content in short 3 to 5 minute videos that we feel like would be a really great resource for students and strategies to send out to our students. But we're hoping to kind of get that rolling and getting some more students in there. And then, of course, collaboration and referrals and obviously presentations, providing faculty and staff partners with our calendar links, encouraging them to connect students with us. And then also we offer additional workshops where faculty can request a success coach to present a specific topic. And some of those are study skills, time management. And then we're always open to other suggestions. So these are some ways that we really like to continually engage with our students. I hope you found that super helpful. So at this time, we're going to take a minute for questions, or if anyone has anything that they would like to share with some things that they may do that's worked really well for them. Obviously, we love to collaborate and we love to learn from one another. So feel free to unmute yourself if you do have questions or would like to share, because we would love to hear from you. And also, Alex provided that link for that document in the chat box, so feel free to open that up and download and save. And if you do have questions moving forward past the presentation, we'd be happy to answer them as well.
Jennifer, I would just add, oh, sorry, Candace.
No, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I would just add, Jennifer, that, Candace actually was the one who suggested, that we present on some of these creative ways that we engage, because I think it's important that we remember that, yes, it's stressful. Yes, it's a busy semester. Yes, we're all asking students for different things, but that if we don't have that connection point, then nothing else matters, right? And so you can kind of think of some of these strategies as ways to kind of break that ice, develop some of a relationship with the students, building some of that trust.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Susanna.
All right, well, we'll end it with a good old dance break and music as you exit. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we hope that you learned something, and feel free to reach out to us at any time for more tips. We'd love to share. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Candace. Do you know if Rodney needs to do something with the recording, or is it already?
We would need to stop recording.